What is happening, y'all? Welcome back to the Media Goose channel. It is I, the Media Goose, your friend Ryan, and the goose is loose, baby. I am here today to talk about that incredible Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. I had my reaction up yesterday, and now that I've had a little time to process it and scroll through social media to see the people that know more about the comics than I do, I'm going to jump on here to talk about it. There's a lot of questions coming out of that trailer, so let's get right into it. Right at the top of the trailer, I think it's important to talk about. It has been 4 years since the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I think it's going to be important to delineate if all of that time jump is before the movie starts, or is there like part of the movie at the beginning that is right after No Way Home, and we see a time jump from there? Because I feel like the events of No Way Home are one of the most interesting parts of this movie, because Peter has been Spider-Manning all on his own, but more interestingly, in a scene where Peter is talking to Ned and MJ as just a neighbor, in the background of MJ and Ned's apartment, it might be one or other, I don't know if they live together, but in the background you see a cork board with Spider-Man on it. So they also have memories of Spider-Man that are missing pieces because the Peter Parker part got taken out of the equation. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see Ned and MJ like trying to figure out the pieces to that puzzle. But also Peter. He's clearly following them on social media. You see that moment in a coffee shop where Peter's on the phone, and in one single shot of Tom Holland, he shows so much pain when he sees Ned. Breaks my heart. I got chills talking about it just now. One camera shot, and Tom Holland shows you everything you need to know. How many times has he sat in that same cafe and seen Ned walk by and not had the confidence to say something to him? It's heartbreaking. It was his brother, his best friend. I'm a little choked up. It's really emotional storytelling. But after that part, the next thing that I'm really excited to talk about, and spoiler alert, there's a lot of theories going around about this trailer. What I'm about to say is probably right. I watched the animated series when I was a kid, and seeing all of the things I saw on social media, spoiler alert, from this point on, I'm talking about things that are almost definitely in this movie. So, the mutation aspect. I think this is going to be representative of the fact that since No Way Home, Peter has not lived as a human. He has only existed as Spider-Man. The way with Batman and Bruce Wayne, it's two sides of a persona, Peter Parker and Spider-Man are the same way. And if you let one overtake the other, there are going to be consequences. I think that Peter is going into this state of metamorphosis because of how much he has used his powers in that time. It's almost like he's a Pokemon evolving. Like if a Pokemon had a level to evolve at like 150 and you were like, oh, I'm never going to get there. Well, Peter did for 3 years was grind and spider. You see how giant his arms are in one scene. And what this is leading to is Man Spider. And there's probably, I've seen people kind of rolling their eyes and questioning if this is smart, because if you look up Man Spider, it looks goofy. But I think this is going to be the perfect story to tell where Peter is in his life right now. And with the metamorphosis aspect, that brings him to Bruce Banner. So I liked the fact that in this trailer, Peter was the lead. A lot of times, whether it was Doctor Strange in No Way Home or the other nostalgia bait characters, or it was Robert Downey in Homecoming, and then in Far From Home, there was Nick Fury and, yeah, mainly Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. That one didn't have as much interference. But in this, Banner is there, but he's not overtaking the story. So Peter goes to Banner for help, and Banner says, "What's your name? Did you say your name?" I think that is setting up a moment in this movie where the Hulk is the first character to call Spider-Man Peter Parker. And he is going to stop in his tracks. It's going to feel like he was hit by a truck. And Peter's going to turn to him and be like, "You know who I am?" And Hulk is going to say, "Banner forgot, but not Hulk." And I think one of the biggest things in this movie that's going to be revealed is that Banner, when he said he merged the Hulk and himself, that was a lie. I think that Banner suppressed the Hulk. I think that Banner decided to bury the Hulk persona within himself and not give that alter any time. And I think when the Hulk gets revealed in this movie, he's going to be the most angry we have ever seen him because of this. The Hulk probably hasn't actually been out as the Hulk since he got his ass beat by Thanos. That was probably the last time we saw the real Hulk. And since then, once Hulk wouldn't come out for Bruce, it became like oh yeah, well, I don't have to let you out either. So I think Bruce might be like, not a villain, but he's going to have actions to be held accountable for, I think. And I think it's possible. I don't know a lot about the variations of the Hulk and the color schemes, but I've seen a lot saying this could be the Gray Hulk. When I looked it up, it looked really kind of cheesy. It's like this character called Joe Fixit, who was like a mob enforcer in Las Vegas, so that's a little weird. But I could also just see them making him a different color and retconning it to whatever they want it to mean. Like, he's not green anymore because he hasn't been out in so long. The, like, color has left or something. I don't know. But I think the Hulk that emerges in this movie should be important to Doomsday. That's what I'll say. Because there are rumors that Peter and Banner are not in Doomsday. So I think there's going to be something in this movie that explains why they have another problem to deal with. So, Man-Spider. I talked about that. Now, let's talk about the DODC, the Department of Damage Control. The character being played by Tremel Tillman. He was just in Severance. I know I need to watch that. He is playing the head of the DODC, William Metzger. So when I did a little Googling, William Metzger's entire platform in the comics is that he is anti-mutant. In particular, one of the things that a lot of people have brought up online is that that character is famous for kidnapping Jean Grey. And Sadie Sink is in this movie. They didn't show her face yet, but I think the character that like had their arms up and the head tilted with the hoodie up to hide that it was a redhead. And then that shot where that wall was rising and you saw somebody in green and their hands, pretty sure that was Sadie Sink. And the fact that William Metzger is involved is really emboldening people to believe that Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Let me stick with Metzger for a second. I talked about in my Wonder Man review that I am really confident that the Department of Damage Control is going to be a massive part of the MCU going forward, and this confirms it. The fact that they took somebody who is one of the most buzzworthy, renowned actors right now, he is, and gave him a multi-picture deal for this role, that just proves it to me. So I think they are going to be getting weapons onto the street. We see that Scorpion has a mech suit now. He has a real suit. So who gave him that? How did he get that? I doubt that there's like a Stark. Almost everything went back to Stark previously. I think we're going to go another way now, and it's the DODC. Maybe the DODC took some Stark tech when Tony died and was like, oh, this is too powerful. We'll need this. So I think they are going to be distributing weapons to villains, kind of like the government does when they drop off like military-grade weapons in the ghetto so that gangs can shoot each other up. I think that's what the DODC will be doing here. I think they will arm Scorpion. I think they are enhancing the hand. There was a shot when Peter's down in the prison. It looks like some of the hand in the background are holding like energy weapons. So I definitely think he is going to be kind of like the arms dealer of this movie, where when he talks to Peter and Spider-Man, he's going to act like the good guy, kind of like Mysterio did, but you'll find out he's actually involved. Frankly, I wouldn't be shocked if he's the one doing the mind control that we see in the trailer. Everybody is associating that to Sadie Sink's character, but I think it could definitely be him as well. I think he could be an enhanced individual in disguise. And I think he will. The way he'll get his weapons to the streets is Tombstone. Tombstone is confirmed to be in this movie, and I think he'll be the middleman between the DODC and the villains looking for enhancements. Now, Sadie Sink. Because she has red hair, everybody thinks she's Jean Grey. And like I said, the William Metzger aspect has really emboldened that take within people. I will be surprised if she's Jean Grey. I think it is far more likely that she is an obscure character from within the Spider-Man world. The two characters I've heard the most are Shothra and the Queen, who's like connected to Spider-Man through the web of life and destiny, and she like pursues Spider characters to consume them for their power. I think it's more likely she's on that side of things than Jean Grey. And if she is a mutant, I don't think she's Jean Grey. I think she's Rachel Summers, the daughter of Scott Summers and Jean Grey. Every Doomsday trailer had some kind of parental perspective. The first one had Steve. Then there was Thor with Love. Then with the X-Men one, the person in the most, I don't know what word I'm looking for. The person who's the most like agony, he's feeling the most agony in that moment as he rips off his protector and lets out that blast. Maybe he has a child that has gone missing, and that's why he's exploding and popping off. There were all of those theories when the Doomsday trailers got released that Doctor Doom is collecting high-powered children. And I think her being Rachel Summers and a target would highly play into that. So I don't think she's Jean Grey. If she's a mutant, I think it's more likely she's Rachel Summers, the daughter of Scott and Jean. So guys, that's a lot. What a trailer. I thought that was simply an incredible trailer. Oh, and I haven't even mentioned the Punisher. The Punisher being in there. 10 years ago, Frank Castle debuted in season 2 of Daredevil, and now he's in a Spider-Man movie. To me, John Bernthal as the Punisher is one of the 2 to 3 best hero castings of all time. It is flawless. If you have not watched Daredevil season 2, please do. And season 3, and the Punisher show. Go watch all of that, because it's incredible. But the Hand is involved. The Hand, another reason you need to go watch the Daredevil series on Netflix, the old ones, not the Disney version. The Hand is incredible. The Hand is such an incredible villain force. The part of the Daredevil show, there's this part where Daredevil has to fight them, and they are so overpowered, they're almost supernatural. Daredevil, who has all of these heightened senses, can't even hear their heartbeats to detect them. So I think it's possible that Daredevil is in this movie based on the fact that they're there. Or they will be in Daredevil season 2 on Disney coming up, because the next season of Daredevil is before No Way Home, or before Brand New Day. And also, a problem with Sony doing the marketing, they totally spoiled that season ends with Wilson Fisk out of power. There's a shot where Fisk's campaign manager is giving the key to the city to Peter. That's a mayoral job. Fisk would be there if he was still in office. If Fisk was still in office, Peter would not be receiving the key to the city. So I have a feeling the end of season 2, really season 5, it's confusing. The 5th season of Daredevil, the second one on Disney, I think by the end of that show, Fisk is out of power, and they will have overcome him. Now, we know Daredevil's in that, Jessica Jones. There's rumors that Punisher is not in the series, but he has a special coming out as well, so that's going to tie in some way. I'm hard-pressed to believe that Daredevil won't be in this movie. In the final shot of the trailer, where it's Peter and the Hand, it looks like the shot from No Way Home where they edited out the other two Spider-Men. So it kind of looks like it could be Daredevil and the Punisher jumping into action with him there. I saw a crazy theory that the Hand is the part of that shot that is augmented, and that's actually Peter and the Hulk. Imagine that. Peter and the Hulk diving into battle against each other. Okay, and my biggest theory, this is the last point of the video. There is no main villain of this movie. I think the final battle is Man-Spider. It's going to be the Hulk, Punisher, Daredevil, whoever Sadie Sink is, all having to stop Peter as he transforms into Man-Spider. And the thing I said earlier about how he's getting stronger and stronger and stronger, he's going to be, like, capable of destroying the city, I think. And I think that will represent the need for Peter to have a support base, to have people around him he can confide in, to go and have that uncomfortable conversation with Ned and MJ. So, yeah, I think it would be crazy if the final fight, Peter's the bad guy. And there's a shot where Peter's eyes go black in the trailer and you can see some red. I think that's his transformation happening, and it's happening right in front of MJ. So he's going to lose control of his powers as he's with the person he cares about most. Could he kill MJ in that moment? I don't know. Maybe he'll be on the verge of killing MJ, and the Hulk comes in, or Daredevil comes in. One more crazy theory. Daredevil's leading the Hand. Season 2 of Daredevil ends with him becoming the leader of the Hand. The whole point of the Hand is they are always looking for a vessel for the god that they worship to take over. So them deciding for that to be Daredevil, and then Daredevil's in this universe, and everybody trusts him, but he's secretly a servant of the Hand, that would be crazy, sick, wild, all of it. And Keith David! So, the most boring option for Keith David, because he was in the trailer. If you got sharp ears, you heard him. The most boring option, he's narrating a spider documentary that Bruce Banner gave him so that he can research more about his powers. The middle option of excitement, he's Curt Connors, the Lizard, also teaching at the college that Bruce works at, so him being the person narrating something Bruce gave him would make sense because they're of the same school. And the most exciting, he's Norman Osborn! Please, Marvel, please, do it, you cowards! I would lose my mind if Keith David is the Green Goblin. Please do it. Don't take the cheap route and make him a narrator of a nature documentary. Make him Norman Osborn. Please. All right, y'all, that's it. I think that's all the theories I had to get out. Let me know what you think. How off the wall do my theories sound? Do you have crazier theories? Let me know if you do. The Goose is out. Hey!